Oh, sleepy. That's pretty good.
Just got in as you all were crossing the street. Did you see it?
¿Cómo estás?
Ask someone who has They paid me not to do that, Jen.
If you believe in family unity, clap your hands. If you know who Araceli is, scream and shout. If you're dedicated to fight for justice until you can't fight anymore, scream and shout even louder. So welcome to Temple Micah. I want to introduce to you Araceli for those who don't know. And if you don't know, she'll tell you her story. And if you do know, thank you for coming back.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Araceli Velázquez. Soy de El Salvador y pues entré en el 2010 y pedí asilo, pero mi asilo fue negado y por eso es que estoy en proceso de deportación. So I came to this country in 2010 asking for asylum. I came from El Salvador fleeing for my life and my asylum was denied. Por eso tuve que tomar la última opción que me quedaba, era tomar santuario en el 2017, agosto 8. And that's the reason why I had to claim sanctuary as my last option to continue fighting my case on August 8th of 2017. Y pues ya tengo 10 meses en santuario y ha sido un tiempo muy largo, pero estoy aquí luchando. And I've been now in sanctuary over 10 months. It's been a very long 10 months, but I will keep fighting. Pues lo importante es que sigo en este país luchando con mi familia para poderme quedar en este país, porque eso es lo que yo quiero, poderme quedar en este país. And what is most important is that I keep fighting for my family. That's why I'm fighting so hard, is to stay here with my family in this country. Pues les quiero dar las gracias a todos ustedes que se tomaron su tiempo en apoyar esta caminata, porque es una injusticia que están haciendo con nosotros los inmigrantes. I want to thank each and every one of you who took the time today to walk and to be here. It's so important, your solidarity with immigrants today. Están pisoteando nuestros derechos y están pisoteando los derechos de nuestros niños, separándolos de sus padres, como me quieren separar a mí de mis hijos. Right now, this administration is stomping on our rights. It's stomping the rights of our children. And it's so important that we stand up and we say no more.
No more!
I forgot one piece. And what they're doing right now to children and to parents on the border is what they want to do to me and to my family and so many other thousands and millions of families across this country. Y yo pienso que es una injusticia, una crueldad separar niños de meses, niños de 1 año de sus padres, porque vi una foto en internet donde está un niño como en una jaula, como que fuera un animal. Esto es una injusticia, porque son niños, le están matando la moral, le están matando su futuro a los niños, los están traumando, porque esto es un trauma para un niño. And this is unjust. This is a cruel injustice what is happening to these children, to our children. I saw a picture on the internet of a small child who looked like he was in a cage, like he was an animal. We are not animals. We are families. We are human beings.
Y entonces, esta es mi lucha. Mi lucha es que no me separen de mis hijos. Y mi
What is happening right now is they're killing the future of our children. By taking away their parents, they're traumatizing them. They're making it more difficult for them to have healthy lives. And that's what they want to do to me. They want to separate me from my children. And I know from experience that if people are coming to our border with their small children, it's because their lives are at stake. Right. Their lives are being threatened in our country where we're from.
Y yo sé que el Congreso tiene el poder de parar a estas personas, a este gobierno, a esta nueva administración. Yo sé que el Congreso lo puede hacer, pero sinceramente, yo sé que el Congreso lo que está haciendo es ser cobarde. ¿Por qué? Porque es una injusticia lo que están haciendo. Los están pisoteando. Que no tenemos derecho, por supuesto que tenemos derechos, y tenemos derecho a la libertad, tenemos derecho a soñar, tenemos derecho a la vida, y esas personas tienen derecho a la vida, esos niños merecen estar con su familia. Entonces yo pido que apoyemos esto para que ya no se haga esta crueldad.
They're acting like we're not people, like we don't feel, like we don't have families. But we are here, and we are human, and we do feel, and we will keep fighting. They act like we don't have a right to dream, like we don't have a right to exist, like we don't have a right to life. But we have rights. We have human rights, and we will keep fighting until those rights are respected.
La resolución del pueblo se trata de un proyecto nuevo que estamos haciendo nosotros cuatro, donde a mí me daría la oportunidad de reabrir mi caso como a mis otras compañeras, y nos daría la oportunidad de poder pelear nuestro caso afuera. Ya no sería necesario tomar santuario.
So this project is a project that the four of us, women who are in sanctuary in Colorado, worked together to develop. We looked at our cases and we said, why couldn't we get on a path to citizenship in the first place? What is wrong with the laws that we have, and what is the solution? And we came up with that solution together, and this resolution is to call Ingrid and Sandra have been in sanctuary for almost 8 months now. It's not fair that our kids are living this sacrifice with us, that they can't go to the park, that we can't take them there to the park, that they don't have the freedom with us that they were used to having before.
Nosotras no tenemos la libertad de disfrutar a nuestra familia. Nosotros no tenemos la libertad de disfrutar a nuestra familia como otros, como ustedes la pueden disfrutar, como ustedes pueden disfrutar a sus niños afuera. Nosotros necesitamos voluntarios y gracias a Dios.
Don't leave here today forgetting about this resolution or ignoring the resolution. Your endorsement matters. It matters to each one of us. And your endorsement and the steps that you commit to take as part of your endorsement are what will gain our freedom from sanctuary, are what will change the system that we have. And we ask you, please don't forget about the sacrifice we and our children and our families are making.
También estoy pidiendo su apoyo para que si pueden cubrir en las noches. ¿Qué persona nos puede apoyar en este proyecto nosotras?
And then the last thing I want to say and clarify is that anyone can endorse the resolution. Any child over the age of 13, we promise we won't send anything creepy. Any person with papers, without papers, doesn't matter. Your endorsement is going to help us connect with you and help you become a part of this movement to get a change in our lives.
Y gracias y los amo porque están conmigo. Gracias. Gracias.
Thank you, and we love each and every one of you for being here with me today.
Gracias.
Your friends, your neighbors, your family, your congregations, everybody you know, people at the bus stop, say, hey, peoplesresolution.org, help us out. So thank you all for being here. We're going to move on to Lupe Lopez. She's going to share a story. And I just want to say thank you all too also. One of the motivations that made
I came straight from the other event at Geo, and I really wanted to come here and also be present.
Les voy a platicar un poquito de mi historia. Yo llegué aquí a Estados Unidos cuando tenía la edad de 16 años. Para mí fue bien difícil dejar a mis padres y a mis hermanitos. Mis padres son guatemaltecos y yo nací en Chiapas, México.
So I want to share a little bit of my story with all of you today. I came to the United States when I was 16 years old. I came alone. My parents are from Guatemala.
Mi madre me enseñó que el dinero se gana con el sudor de la frente y yo no podía permitir que mi jefe obtuviera lo que él quería.
Unfortunately, I needed to work to support my younger brothers and sisters and my family, and my mother always taught me that we would get ahead and that we could get ahead together by working off the sweat of our brows. And I could not permit that my boss get from me what he was trying to get just to have a paycheck. And I had needed to keep working in order to support my father and my younger brothers and sisters. It was very difficult. I wanted to study and go to school and work as well, but I couldn't do both things. So I had to leave school and just work.
En el año 2012 conocí a mi esposo Con él ya tenemos 5 niños. Todos son ciudadanos americanos. Ellos tienen sueño, tienen ganas de terminar la escuela, de graduarse de la universidad, tener una carrera. Y yo veo a ellos que sí le están echando ganas porque todos van muy bien en la escuela. Ahorita
Conociste 2000. Yeah. Okay, so I messed up one thing. They married in 2000. You're like high school, 2012. They married in 2000. But the reason that she became involved in immigrant rights is because in 2012, State Patrol pulled her and her husband and another person who were in a car on I-70 over. And they didn't have a driver's license, and that's what began both of their deportations. About my children, and they didn't know anything about me. Luckily, my husband and I were able to post bond and leave detention and find our children and see them again, and they asked us what happened. We thought you both were dead.
es bien difícil estar en este sistema, estar en proceso de deportación porque tiene uno que pagar mucho dinero en la fianza, en los abogados. Los niños se trauman. Tengo mis niños y ellos saben muy bien que la policía fue
Since this happened to me in 2012 because I felt it was so unjust. But I've had to be absent for several months because I got really sick from the stress.
Lamentablemente todo el estrés que uno obtiene por todos estos problemas, toda esta situación que pasa es un trauma bien grande. No saber uno qué va a pasar con su situación. El día que va uno a la corte uno no sabe si ahí lo van a detener y lo van a deportar y qué va a pasar con los niños. Es algo bien difícil.
yo enfermé, lamentablemente pues me pegó diabetes. Ahorita, gracias a Dios, ya me estoy recuperando. Le doy gracias a todos ustedes que nos están acompañando, que he visto su apoyo por largo tiempo, que no nos dejan solos, a las familias inmigrantes que siempre están apoyando. Muchísimas gracias a todos por todo el amor, el cariño que nos dan. Muchas gracias y que Dios los bendiga.
So thank you so much to each and every one of you who've been accompanying us. Those of you who are new, those of you who have been accompanying us for many, many years. Don't give up. Don't leave us alone in this fight. Keep accompanying us.
Two things, because Laura invited me to share a little bit of my own story with you all this evening before I invite you to call on our members of Congress to vote no on this upcoming budget for no more funds to the Department of Homeland Security. Pues antes que sí ponemos a todos en acción para llamar a nuestro Congreso a votar no por no más dinero. I share this with you because a big reason as to why we are here is the impact of how the zero tolerance policy will continue to militarize our border. And we in Colorado, we as a part of indigenous lands cannot stand for militarization of our border. Entonces a nosotros, ¿no? Aquí en Colorado también tenemos una responsabilidad para proteger la frontera, porque eso sí es tierra indígena. The other story that I would like to share with you, or a piece about me, Les decía, estoy compartiendo esa experiencia en Suchitoto con todos de ustedes, porque eso fue en 2014, cuando había un alto punto en parte de crisis de los niños y las mujeres llegando de la frontera por todo el mundo, no solamente aquí de Estados Unidos. Y eso fue algo muy grave. Y todas esas fotos y cosas pasando por Facebook y todo, eso sí es cierto hasta de 2014, durante el tiempo de Obama. No es algo nuevo. Nuestros niños sí estaban detenidos, encarcelados. Que sí salió de Suchitoto en 2014 al fin de mayo para llegar de este país, y no estoy segura que sí todavía ella está viva. No estoy cierta. Y eso es todo de nuestra responsabilidad. La vida de ella es nuestra responsabilidad. Y todos esos niños y mujeres y familias. And every child and every woman and every family is our responsibility to ensure that they have the most dignified life. So I call two zero zero 2223 520-200-2223 and type in your zip code y textear su código postal de este número. So text your zip code to this number and you will receive the contacts for our Senate, our congressional senators, your representative, your state legislators, and our mayor. But I ask you to call the top 3 numbers that come in that text and to encourage
Give it to you. Okay, so we're gonna have a couple more speakers and then we're gonna wrap it up. So the next person is going to be Tom Kelly. Is Tom Kelly here? Tom Kelly is a surrogate from Diana DeGette's office, and he has 3 minutes. Thank you.
I promise I won't take that. Congresswoman DeGette is in Washington. She's back tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon. Right like this? Ordinary circumstances where it is in the children's best interest. If this happens, independent child welfare officials will oversee each case. It will also tightly limit criminal prosecution of those who seek asylum. People around the world have been horrified by the scenes of families divided and the very young being placed in shelters. We must reject this startling lack of humanity. With our resolution condemning this policy, my colleagues and I are strengthening these calls. We are also working to ensure that the comprehensive immigration reform gets done. This week, House Republicans Unfortunately, this one family story is one that is all too common in our nation today. Our broken immigration system must be reformed with long-term vision and compassion. That takes wise leadership, and I am leading the way to find a just and permanent solution. I'm committed to making that happen, and I know there is consensus in Congress, more importantly across the country, for a pragmatic and just resolution of this challenge. Sincerely, Congresswoman Diana DeGette.
Perfect time. Thank you for that. And thank you for the time. We're going to keep everyone at 3 minutes.
Have to stop otherizing. These kids in cages are our children. Marcella is our child who's missing. We don't know where she is. The families being torn apart are our families. We've got to stop this. After the Holocaust and the Japanese internment, the words "never again" were thrown around quite a bit. Look where we are, 2018 Colorado, and it's happened again
and again and again. Here we are, though, to stop it, and this is what we can do. We've heard some things that we can do. Number one, defund ICE. I stand here tonight to serve as a voice for people who don't have a voice right now. You all are here tonight serving as the voice of people who don't have a voice. We need to say, not now, never again!
Never again! Thank you very much. Never again!
Never again!
Never again!
Never again!
Never again!
Never again!
Next we have candidate Mike Johnston.
So proud of ourselves. We thought that was fantastic. And then we looked around and discovered that about half of our seniors were undocumented, which meant at that moment, if they were going to go to college in Colorado, they were going to have to pay out-of-state tuition to go to our in-state colleges, which meant you'd have a valedictorian going to CU paying $5,000 a year and the salutatorian going and paying $35,000 a year. That was what got me to run for the state senate in the first place, was knowing that my students would never have access to the American dream if we didn't fight to get that done. And I ran for the state senate. We successfully passed that law with a number of the people here, the asset bill that opened the doors of college to all Colorado kids. To lead. And what I've said is, I don't care where Donald Trump stands on this. I am not going to be the hands to implement the wishes of your cold heart. Which is, if you want to try to break up families, if you want to try to deport hardworking Coloradans, you're going to have to come through us to do it. So if you want to build a wall on the southern border, we'll build a wall right here around Colorado to make sure Donald Trump and the rest of his federal troops can't get in to get to our own residents. And so there are a couple things we're going to do. One is, I will not allow state dollars
is actually a quote from something that comes from my family's civilization. I was raised Jewish, and how many of you guys have ever been to a Passover? Just raise your hands if you've been. So there is one phrase at Passover dinner that strikes me every single year, and it brings tears to my eyes. And it says, "When strangers sojourn with you in your land, you shall not do them wrong. The strangers who sojourn with you shall be to you as the natives among you, and you shall love them as yourself. For you were strangers in the land." Environment to treat the strangers of your country as your own has resonated throughout the years. My grandparents survived the Holocaust. And when my parents were confronted with a situation in our own community where they had a stranger in their midst, they decided to do the right thing. There was a young girl named Dulcia Bonilla Gonzalez who came here without documents with her parents. And when her mother died of cancer, my parents adopted her and made her one of our own. I have 10 brothers and sisters. We didn't have a lot of money. It wasn't an easy thing to do, but it was the right thing to do. And whenever you run into a situation where bureaucracy butts up against morality, where yo lucharé para ustedes. Yo no voy a esperar a acusar a Donald Trump. Yo lo acusaré inmediatamente. You know why? Porque él es un criminal. Porque trumpismo es fascismo. Y esta es la verdad. Y vamos a luchar contra fascismo aquí en los Estados Unidos de América. Because that's not who we are. Thank you.
Thank you, Levi, and thank you all the speakers. So now we just have a few more things, 2 more things, I promise. So are there any announcements, calls to actions, other campaigns that we need to be made aware of?
Hello everyone, I'm Reverend Tammy Garrett Williams. I'm the Vice President of Political Affairs for the Greater Metro Denver Ministerial Alliance, as well as the NAACP. We stand in solidarity with you. I would like to let you know that we're having an announcement, a big announcement on endorsements that we're doing at New Hope Baptist Church on June 24th from 3 to 4 p.m. It's going to be a huge announcement, and I would appreciate if any of you or all of you could just be there in support of those candidates that have spoken.
What we're having for dinner, but she wanted us to set an intention and reflect on these words as we do it. So if you can repeat after me, it's in English and Spanish, and then we'll head that way to my right, which is the one sign. Hold your sign up that says, and Mexico is gonna pay for it. So follow that guy. So here we go. Here's the reflection and the intention for the walk back. Tú eres mi otro yo.
Tú eres mi otro yo.
You are
Respect you.
Me amo y respeto yo.
Me amo y respeto yo.
Loud. I love and respect myself.
I love and respect myself.
All right, thank you. Let's go.
If you really need water or the bathroom, you can. Here. Okay.
Oh no.